Ovada Cabre, Edepa Agyapade book once a ma walk away. Ovada Cabre, you know you want my muhan. The moment I had 18 years, I ate me to Aba. I choose to say, Wintina Akunyano, the Obinia Qualabium. Ovada Cabre, ye near may be comparing. Agyapade book. O kind baby, a woman say, a baby beba. A dear MPP for any iron. Say, Omutia Roma Akani Bedi MPP so 2024 more. Or more a chain for no Mudia Nimsiano, or Muhaba time or Muhu Anya Sem. Enti, I was so moyede, or Mohini Pahofra, Ebia, Sevi Sevi, where near for Pepe, Lady Eba flag bearer for MPP. And also, I can't Agyapade no document need to require anyone. Baby, you are or Tresse or mine Sikano. And so, Mufa Quine be on the Faso, Atimabua or Manisika, Edia 2 or more chum phone or Munchimbao. And the Ebiti said, then PDS of Ada Cabre or my pen, they would or my Agyapade company to say electricity. Eddie show being sir. Abra a whole cratana all year. Ember Parliament. O man who obia nim hohwe a PDC betimi aba bejiti amanfo like be prepaid be agigi hu sika be 8 months yembu ho akontankire obia wa amasa company ni yese agu Ovada Cabre menka nkum wa sumwa o man be no betimi aba ko jina say who see that amanyankopon that is cathedral asem na make yo utumi emu anyi egu ho no mwatwe anyi ni nyina balabadi ha aba beton waji owura ayi ba omianim hu bio o matwe Ovada Cabre so se meboa MPP ni bi obeba ho bia bisa ne se cathedral na omutu amina donko no anya dodo se na omunya otipo
na Ovada Cabre dia me kan se MPP ni na nado aya no mo fe se Ghana for ye ohuru yanim a ye horo kosoro anase aya Agyapade buku a ye kan enye nne ana enu ane bayo aba bese 5 years yaka ho asem radio so television so muti meyi ano ana eniema ya twe wo nyina so emu bese 95% abam na ene wa sole ese no kwe bibia ye kan ye aba state capture eniema mo be fifa eniema mo be tonto amomo senate boss muyi na dinna Agyapade book no newum enu nti die na ado kan de waka ya to atwipum obi enu odi be adwuma na ya na bisi ya nto abama Dr. Bawumia ade ti Ghana for no wo mo fe say ne serious wana Dr. Bawumia eniema wo kan ye 2020 wotimi ko gina Cape Coast ese ye Cape Coast for we are building harbor wanga say we will build we are building it means say o dey on kasa no na harbor no gusu ekoso ene harbor no wen na do by peace from say no kore o man ka bibia sa
Agyapade book no yaw na agidi
o fa me as man fa ko yes na ben share with you for o fa me de megidi dingende pa ba
na o psychiatric hospital de kwa exam uti o gabi o che da ko se wuni abaji de register exam uti
so Gabi na be in charge of that psychiatric hospital there na meko amana exam me na
na wujidie
Agyapade document media madwum no megidi pa if you say if page 1 echo see the last page almost every plan be a woman has been implemented of us obekaya emra abanwe eba abremu no omo putu moratorium on the small scale miners and what we term as galamsey omo nyina na ekonim kakra ema nkrofo hyase eka se baby adrundi anohye nkrofo from wuye and demonstrations ahoro nti before say abano obe left sa moratorium no na emse per this book no matra say ewie omo hyehyɛ a omo fee say nkrofo ese omo be handle that sector no I affiliated to them nti so obehwe a ukọ omo book no mu a omo atro say licenses ahoro a ye issue ema your friends small scale miners ene omo na omo di sa adwuma no ukọ page 10 no a esteti ewo last paragraph of first, second, and fourth paragraph. The state or say licenses are issued on the 1st of July 2016. Meaning no null and void. Into say obi per se will sign a those people should come back to reapply, which means that they had concluded and confer say or more use for the company or more affiliated companies. Until page 11, 12 going now. Or more listed about 332 small-scale mining companies. Probably it is alleged they are aligned with them from the various regions. And the person in charge to lead this exercise, according to the book, Ura Asantebedia too. Offer over banking cleanup sector, they were a course. It is exactly what they have planned in this book. Indigenous banks, are fees or affiliated to the opposition NDC and then other rival political parties. They decided to clear all of them so as to ensure their bank will be the banking sector that will be leading the financial sector. They have also stated clearly, NDC, the largest opposition, were not smart enough to analyze the cost involved in closing down these banks. They have not asked them for detailed document regards the amount used in closing down of the banks. And indeed, that closing down of the banks allowed them to receive resources from backdoor into their financial sector. Offer insurance and state insurance acquire bidi. No man can say state insurance insuring according enterprise insurance answer. Offer mesa muchiaba forward no more offer in the sense say every single item there has been implemented, and I say the plan appears to be one that say it has been the most wicked plan ever to be implemented by a political party that came to, as it were, alleviate the plight of the people of the country. Interestingly enough, this document sought to alienate the Ashanti of their powers in terms of a more numerical strength. Until they planned that it was very critical to ensure, the battle or the mantle was not handed over to an Ashanti to become the flag bearer, but rather a non-Akan. And that has clearly happened. I believe the document, in total, from page 1 to the end.
Na every bank and sad document, Osaka be.
From the early part, in first quarter of 2020.
First quarter of 2020, Nansaka. The book no one actually.
Of a book, author, maybe Mempese made a dimber trigger. But also, I must say, there was a organic cotton only baby or the Mokusi. And they know themselves.
Now, book no, ya baby, the way and or your author now.
Of a also pushing corner. I know what they can. Now, we say forward, first page, Nana Osajefo, I'm watching for penny, and I actually do. And I say, Woba, a friend saying, after the forward, import your forward, Ufuriata, simply Ufuriata, and I actually in pen. Right.
Ufuriata, ni actually, and I say DM Ufuriata.
When you actually Ufuriata in pen.
Yes, said there's one breath DM Ufuriata. There's another breath, as you are saying, Ufuriata. Yes, and to say it to me, it raises a little doubt as to the authenticity of the book. Ubebuan is saying.
Offer anybody who raised doubt about this document, now, they say probably he or she hasn't gotten a copy to read. Now, so when a copy, so I read now, or raise doubt on this book, and just say, on your patriotic to this nation. In the sense that we would have no cause to have held onto this document. Indeed, offer electricity company take over or Nina was part of the phase 1. In their setbacks, regards in human comparison mudi, Nankebe in number be monsa. Civil society organizations, any opposition parties, every concern, am up to date. Somehow they couldn't materialize. It be a electricity takeover, which they took about 6 months bills from us freely, more or less. They didn't invest 1 peso, but they sought to take bills from the people of this country. More free, unless the action as Rebecca was because the one put to any scabby said this is a sky idea to invest in that particular sector. Or more and yes, sir. Agyapade LLC also, and also they were surprised, said it faced some challenges, but they concluded by saying, because they included some non-action people in their midst, and out of their greed and selfishness, Agyapade LLC was shut down by the minority, by the help of civil service societies, also more crusading minority in their power to shut down that particular deal. But this book, and as this document, I don't know. I would urge Asantema especially to have copies to read. I will urge the Muslim community to have copies to read. I will urge the pastors, all of them, to have copies to read. So we are MPP near RDB because what is happening is not say the course may be affecting opposition parties on board. The whole country. And interesting of the hard drink I say, and yeah, action for no matters no my will, a sect of action people, a sect. For instance,
the woman say, yeah, who could our copy no?
Oh, could a copy. Okay.
Electronically, 38 pages. Hard copy ne kuta na as a photocopy ya reproduce one. How many pages?
The Amikra, of course, all the Memphis 36.
You could turn 36. And electronically, dear, a woman phone so variously. Bakuya 38, Bakon 41. In the head then, same book, no, you could take different number of pages.
No. For instance, the Mikra first page in our picture it doesn't have a number, so you cannot include it as a page on its own. In the page in starts all kind of from front and back there, and you're not the Mikra a version 38, but the numbering starts from the last chapter of the forward.
And the Okutano, supposedly book letter, your photocopy, and you abandon it together. Yes. Who has the original book now? Ubenya color photo of Osaje from working for a penny na green, yellow, no idea him woman.
I know there was soft copy, no.
But who has the because the Okuta and I said desktop publication be and I photocopy the so I'm asking, do you know say Obikuta hard copy away don't the photo in black and white? Our hinting that one more green and yellowy at the wing.
Patron of the no soft copy and I'm a print free www.awakenewsroom.com and me hear copy. Now I'm starting to study the authenticity of that particular document. Now I have faced hostilities from that point on many platforms until recent times and Sana Adewe.
Yes, people. A dear man, pana a wedge up a dear numua. Would be kind your first quarter of 2020 and Sana subsequently at the chrono air BBC.
Offer make about the judiciary, and then I also mentioned about the gold value chain. At the time, gold catches be a buyer or mampani about 100 of gold catches at the buyer. I looked at the distribution aspect of it and where they went and which people received them. Of course, I cannot mention all the people who received them. But then, Ocean Crawford distributed our gold catches. The NBC who said, who are those people? Who are those people, and who are behind those small-scale mining entities, right? And these are areas, and especially when His Excellency the former President John Dramani Mahama Becca said, balance the judiciary, no. The perceived puffed up of the judicial system.
Na first quarter of 2020, ya unsaka a copy of the supposed Agyapade book, no. Okyehene say at the time, no, 10 crying a year, Director General of Senate, none deputies, a year, Kofi Bosompem, and one another. Na years to come, ye better say Kofi Bosompem ever call into the Director Generalship of the Senate. Now what to me automatically secure a seat on the board of EcoBank. Now Etimiama, because of that, there be a seat on the board of Senate. There be let me get it right. A bit technical. Say Kofi Bosompem, ye be yi ten crying. Na ye de Kofi Bosompem aba. Na Kofi Bosompem waba aba benya the opportunity. Ama ye diversity Senate hotels, no. Na ye wa hariyen. Na yakwa akofa sankuma yire ama ono so EcoBank na womotimi anya board omumi enu no etimi anya seat on the board of EcoBank. Okyehene can say in 2020
offer making can, but when I started platforms around because not making and one says according to predictions into especially the latest with Owura Kofi Bosompem no making kind but nipa no plan minimum ne soon the bands of Rosafuma for BBC. Until I have read, but I had no research who this person is until said this particular thing dropped. And I said, no, this cannot be fake. Because who can book now be see, especially the Senate saga as well. It tells you clearly, say, nobody who is a part of this group or click or trust document. Bet me actually baby no trust book here or this document. Every single prediction has come true. And if you look at the fact that they were talking about their phase 1, which is the original document, review after 2020 election, the review that they have done tells you that they achieved a greater part of what they sought to do in the first tenure of Nane's office. His Excellency, the former ambassador to one of this country, Okyehene or something. Officer, who on a number, bet me a friend. No, besides, we need be Agyapade document. This document has been there for a long time, but we didn't give it the needed attention because, after all, yemu wait until the overcome. Ubia sanke to say astute journalists phobia and also be I said the voice a question and no boss some way so. And can say you actually a chepa, but we ignored all chances that we got to have followed this document. Now can bet me a block of certain things that they have done to this nation.
Okay, yeah. My show. Agyapade document, first page you forward, right? And then after forward, we bring 1.0 up to 1.44. Now 1.0 up to 1.44 no. Economic and financial sector control.
Yes.
Now economic and financial sector control no. Do you recall dear no mokafa Dr. Papa Kusindom ho dear no mokafa Dr. Kwabena Dofo
ho. Dr. Papa Kusindom say say about financial sector now can already an impact in terms of coverage in this country. And me myself, 2014, I used to work with First Africa Savings and Loans. My gift as a new company and as a bank. A little bit of insight regards or more operations. Now, Owura Papa Kusindom, quite now fast of air train. it had become a threat to allegedly our former finance minister. And he said, Obeka random, within the paper better said, this is the letter that went to cabinet. It was shut down, and later on, for some reasons, will be a to me a new group of people. It could have said the bank. Dr. Papa Kwasim was a threat, and he was a political rival to this incumbent, and of course other political parties. And seeing how he was expanding, it was necessary to say now such expansion within the local banking system. So that the alleged data bank could, rise above all these financial institutions. Into there was a deliberate plan to oust him from the financial sector, and anybody who was also close, which is Owura Dufo also, another person I know also did into my banking sector. Na makonta on a bank maybe. Into I knew a little bit of them, and like I said, national financial sector. I knew a little bit of all these people. Into because their political affiliation were not aligned with the current administration, it was necessary that they found ways and means to get rid of them. So that they could, wield the numeric, the financial power to be able to control all these areas. And not just them alone, but other banks also are accounting. So they planned that let's get rid of them, and that is what happened to Papa Kwasi. But unfortunately, I know this particular aspect of making a new book, but it was alleged. If it is true, Papa Kwasi, after his bank was closed down, he fell on allegedly Agyapade3, if that is true, to go and plead on his behalf. So when some of us heard that news, I never put it out though, but I told myself that if you would want somebody to mediate on behalf of you, would you go for Agyapade3? Right now that the whole thing has completely collapsed, you turn around to go and now petition your opponent that you describe his governance as the most worst one, that if you voted for him, you have wasted your vote. But that is just by the side. It was a deliberate attempt, and they succeeded because at the time, we were not privy to what they were about regards the financial sector until recently.
Yeah, and you just say, Ujidipa.
Offer Mejidi papa. Nobody can.
Because would see a year or and I will say a dear Agyapade3 or say a year then a year yet village back home. Na semi evil plan, evil only used to the word evil. Me were evil plan against a year sa village na yet timunua. Na matnas na matro said the mayeni na babontin say baseya. What would you say me evil plan no me tro ye said the mayeni na babontin no. Now who say any pano? We here to have your head examined. This is coming from Gabriel Nanaya Isari watch the Dako.
Odi Nanaya also, and the namesake, but I call out Francesca Crack. But you know, and to me, to us on December 20th. Offer, I'm happy to say we use the word evil plan. And indeed, this document is interestingly evil. What I mean by that is that, offer, coup d'etat be Bresisi African continent, including Ghana. Before say coup base no nipa ba ko bi no the trust e hye ase na omo anwene omo apenko form be trust omo na omo de ho plans egu ho. Many a times on the African continent, coup d'etat has been fought as a result of the fact that somebody was included. We feel say adwon we dey have been fin enti e bi amefa chira kwa report. Enti it is the same situation in this document. Whoever leaked it has helped Ghana, but unfortunately, the opposition parties have sat down for almost everything to be completed. Otherwise, no sanka. Nipa leaky document earlier. Nipa leaky document in earlier no sanka ye final serious and kebia you could have stopped a lot of things. And the all is neither here nor there. Somebody who was not happy about this document, any leaking, but offer interestingly. MPP members, big shot within the MPP. Some of them have this document and they authenticate it, say, true. Because a bit F and now Mukopa and Faumohano, or more kind, Nasa be a meno mushia, or Mukasa Masa, Sabia will dear, yen to me Cassa, and Yanukure, Efa and Sensemas, especially where I was on Pemedian Bayan. I have had a big shot of MPP telling me that Nkrofoye Buyasa so papa.
But right? Now, sad document on the Siano, President of the Republic say a fake. Osaji for motor for a penny, as soon as PSC say a fiction. And Gabriel Chida, Conso, and I just say a evil document, and yet likely so mobile me. I am obese high evil plano. What's your part now? Almost fast, I'm you, Kono.
My offer now,
Auntie, just one can say, bet me at Nasia plan, say, Samia Ukudo or Pema, into you bet me the ma a yenash reform. I say, why, for what purpose? What the Omotrofa, John Boadu, that John Boadu dear, or ye a pure man, and intino or the San Ebe Frimo, the Omo Kafa or your Pon Cromahu. Some must have personalities, one more or that same group. Shadow Kafa Kennedy, a compre Japan. So, how would they plan so one crop for say no by your
offer? A cool be even a bushum crown, your Hofwa or Muhu Ehu. If you look at the caliber of Samioku, may I advocate as Samioku should file to for the flag bearership and cannot be BCC or partner and easy cry. Samioku is a shining star. Everybody knows, both opposition and incumbent. Likes him, the youth especially. You can't beat that fact. Samuel Oku and others, I don't want to speak for them, but my instinct tells me that they have been very clever in managing this document to stay afloat. Said okay, you are not aligned to the next course, right? There are some of them who are just being strategic and diplomatic in being with this incumbent. Deep down their hearts, they know what is happening. Everything that has been said about those individuals, I am in personal ones in Mekohono. Over, tell me which one has not happened and which one is not true. Probably Samuel who has been very clever. What about the Rollins factor? Am I a move BSC say Rollins, how could he have died so early? The Rollins factor, I don't want to go there, but if you read it, it's damning. And they did it the way they did it. Who would have thought that His Excellency Nana Danko Kufuor, who was Attorney General then, Rollins now, we perceive or to the extent that he, as an Attorney General, has time to be corrected and revoking the privileges at a point in time. Now, this same man comes back to power, and then the Rollins' family becomes so close to one of their worst and our sworn enemy in politics. How do you understand this whole thing? To the point that the Rollins factor were against their own party that they formed. Also, let us be truthful and candid with facts, right? And your friend is down. Rollins we need to examine and scrutinize it because baby I do it.
I just omutimi a seeming rivalry between Agyapade3 and Chairman General Kwame Sefakai, describing Chairman General as a calm, cool, and collected person who would always want to wait for the right time to strike, as opposed to Apostle Paul Agyapade3 or no aggressive and appear to poo-poo any suggestions. Yebeka Sem Krama Chairman General Edin Abemobi. What purpose were they writing this?
They have studied the demeanors of all the your friends, the larger population of the media, especially those we describe as senior journalists. The description of Kwame Sefakai, is it not accurate? Is it not right that he's cool, calm, and collected? What he does behind the scenes is not my business. The description of Paul Agyapade3, is it not accurate? Is it not exactly who he is now? Because you see, Paul Agyapade3, in my opinion, has made journalism some sort of comic relief for people.
We want to talk about, they were describing them as such, drawing knowledge on Omumienu Enka For what purpose?
Yes.
For what purpose? What throw in
Fine. So, and America, so they have studied the individuals who we describe as senior journalists. Also, in every spectrum of life, if it comes to the entertainment industry, whatever, gospel musicians will be on a rival and they have their beefs here and there. And sir, Kwame Sifaka, and I think I stand to be corrected, most of the journalists, radio good and mother a year or more a firm and into be a strength. How far this person can go and that. Even as we speak, we have top journalists who are enemy to their top journalists because of probably the way either they are rising or some of the things they do behind closed doors.
Yeah, this president of the republic is a fake propaganda. Sans over the years, ya can't find ama ne yere kura no dono Elin and cancer Jamina 30 years ago with the free moon in July 30 years ago no still and Crawford can say on the coon no nina ya asama yeka e de eto so ne ade nyina in the same vein na Agyapade so no the opponents NDC foi the secretary Samija Mfika ho na o matwetwe we de atia no
of a Crawford no ya chi now within that very moment no I admit to say men are married unless you use some force either they call something minimal force or the other way around until say Ghana for the do another can document we His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo's opinion
can say near the ayedin
to understand what has happened to the economy.
Adakabre say Agyapade book we asem no ho o for a penny fee Nana do no mu gabi o kire da kono mu Nana bedio to mo yes lawyers pa krata we beto dwa no ache as wo munim se krata na mfiri ahemfie ho a ena enye wo mo abusua Agyapade a so Supreme Court na do na control
men kasa please
your book we mu
you're professional
no your book no
on control Supreme Court
okay he's in charge of the country and so he's not afraid to go to court obetimi asuma attorney general say kosanimiti na same way a ekoso no emfa minim ho hwe onye bibia sa okonsu na okokot su na opia book na wo se unim ho hwe no insankyerani a wo mu nyina na ehunu wa asase ya udi so ma ye se president enti ene omumia omo anu ene omumia omo anu up to now na election e baso enti wabetu nanum tu a ebe my opportunity to look inside the book na ya hwede e wokrata anu mu na offer penny fie ho no ohimpon no ne din eda krata anu a ni mfoni eda so a Nana do su biaso as the president of this republic obian contest is a book no say enye nokre na de ehu kakra wo mu ni say obia ka no ebisa say Nana do say o si krata we enye o krata no obia timi atena titi say wada kabre what trans steady Nana do Danko Akufo-Addo as steady ahinie a ohyase bi koche bi hona na wetimi atro krata na reflect exactly over Nana do ni ruling na dia asem na Nana do betimi aka fasa krata na je se nipa bi nimu pa na je se nipa bi nim Nana do pa senior obedi president ebinu ka say Kofi friends unkai mi kakra Kofi
wayo
no
Kofi Kumsen
o ka say Nana do ni pa na nya ade a o mayi ye de hye ni nsa ebeye yi owura nya ho nya hota makro onu su ka say Nana do Danko Akufo-Addo yo bi e de o man Ghana e hye ni nsa they cannot sleep. We have seen it now. Adakabre bisa homa mi o se ekoba ni sen ɛna obi timi hyɛ nkɔma Nanado sɛ Nanado yɛpɛ sɛ yɛ take over Senate na yɛ take over Ecobank Transnational na yɛbɛtumi a take over Ecobank di a wɔsɛ yɛnya yɛ ne nipa na ɔkɔ Senate as a Director General na Ecobank nso Senate wɔ shares wom ɛnu ma Senate kwan ma Director General no ɛtena board no so enti no yɛmpɛ yɛ ni ayɛ nipa na ɔnkɔyɛ Director General na yɛntimi control Ecobank Transnational wɔn mu hwɛ wɔn a krataa no mu no na osafo maafo ba ɛyɛ Kofi Bosompem ɛna wɔn hyehyɛ sɛ adwuma no maa no meanwhile no wokae sɛ wɔn bɛfa akonnwa yi ana Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo ɔno ankasa ne twotwo mucho owura osafo maafo bɛka kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ nyinaa sɛ public sector achoki baabi aban ɛhwɛ nipa fɛ nipa ɛma na adwuma no ɛwɔ achoki enti no obi anyɛ adwuma anyɛ enti uwie university a ɔpɛ baabi fa uyɛ teacher ni a pɛ baabi fa uyɛ nurse ni a pɛ baabi fa wɔn hwɛ ya na teacherfoɔ ne dɔɔso na wɔn sɛ yɛ de lance high exams bɛba yi sɛ ɔkɔ twerɛ exams bi ansa na yɛ ama adwuma ebinom atwerɛ apaase teacherfoɔ wɔn da so gu fie sisi a nanso owura asafo maafo di ne ba no kɔ wura Senate hwehwehwehwehwehwehwe ɛna ano yi a wabɛyɛ Director General sesi a ɔte Ecobank board no so enti nsuo tɔɔyɛ na yɛni efura yɛn ho a enti yɛti afɔm no so adakabrɛ ɛno so yi sɛ ebisa obi anaasɛ sɛ yɛni efura a na sɛ yɛn hu koraa na ɛgya ahyehye wɔn ho sɛ ɛgya na ɛhyehye adakabrɛ wɔn mu kasa fa Central Bank ho ɛkɔn bɛfa so take over Central Bank enti ɛnu deɛ first time na wɔn baayɛ na hwehwehwehwehwe directors ɛwɔ hɔ board members ne CEOs ɛwɔ hɔ mefa Bank of Ghana the governor ne ne deputies hwim wɔn yi wɔn firi hɔ ɛna wɔn di hɔ bɛma atoa desin a wabɔ bank yi ka Bank of Ghana more kada in the history until Nanado took over this country since Obaye or starting loss from 1.8 billion says our boy is over 76 billion Ghana cedis. And also obi na trauma o mo ana hwe enterprise group wo mu hihya de wo mu hihya say ebusiafo no be take commanding height enyuma bi e ya ban de no wo mu de wo mu be hyem no wo control etu kaya PDS Electricity Company of Ghana wo mu try so wo mu be fa PDS and civil society groups any minority in parliament did wo mu gi mu a at the end of the day ECG super SOCD say they were not able to take over empo America for this sika ebre free America for can say Nanado uni wo umanfo na musimu ya private sector giant na mwaka mu ho abomu no munyi mu hu anasa aban ni nyi no free interfering with the taking over of ECG Nanado say ne be sa de ne musika no mumfa America for catch Nanado say you suffer ho na oman no nya ho faso no o si so beyi ni safri ho de ne America fa osika ampa nso sika no boy ema ECG agina baabi agina sisia. That is the person we are talking about. Na ti wo na say usi book we unyi ntumu a na je say undo Ghana na je say u obi asabi
esu gitum so you should have your head examined.
No onu de onu gabi no we didi Ghana fo nyina atem na minim say ka Ghana fo nyina yeti bomu a powerful than onu ni de na oditi Jubilee House wono
Agabi what Jubilee House.
What Jubilee House?
Sir.
Or any one no break you all the deals. Busiano. Yes. Here enterprise group. Enterprise so who omu history. They Ghana for year dia. Then yeah and be di can offer attention. And no more she say. What was I SIC State Insurance Company? Adakabre. Adenti ne was say a Agyapade3 yen offices in ya dying in Numa mfidi nnwuma bebree yɛ aban deɛ wɔ sɛ yɛma insurance backing yɛde ne nyinaa kɔma enterprise group a ɛyɛ Ken Ofori-Atta deɛ. The issue is that they have to control the insurance industry. Who can say COVID buy? You insure nurses, you insure doctors. Ni nyina state insurance anya baako kra. Ni nyina enterprise group. Mamini who can say sisi ano. Yen state insurance company no egu. Esinse hokwa. Womuti offices kwa. But services that also omu provide enye sika de bu oma you know. Ni nyina kwa kodi yenua Ken Ofori-Atta or enterprise group. Womu steady ya etra himfie ho e plani asofufuo e kon be fa so a breaki asofufuo bi down asofu we opeska na we ye say no omu analyze ya bedru Otebri so e pastor Otebri e mo mu jitu say Otebri obi a ote womu ase onu womu ko benkrum na de omu ye ya etia Otebri awatwi ne ho afiri womu ho the collapse of the banks. Collapse of the bank, dear see omu ba obeso omu control financial sector. Enti yan kukuru bibia farmer Ken Ofori-Atta data bank. To extend say aban kwa ko bobusia companies omu jinem edijuma etwisika bre aban no. Ye di ni nyina akoma Ken Ofori-Atta. Enti ukai bukuru bebia any matters are rising now. Tam omu ba be Capital Bank. Who can say Capital Bank na ye papa Otebri na hona na ye board chair. Wo mu hwe banks a Ghana mpanyinfo bi sika wom. Say ye wan so na ye bank na wo mu pese wo mu break you down then they attack you. Ye papa Dr. Kwabradufo. Wo mu collapse ni bank. Ye papa Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum. Dear Bonina Papa ye. So the banks in Konkurase said they be a financial inclusion a part of our strategy as a country no. E be succeed no. Uba no be collapse Papa Inuma to extend say e mo uko ura e wo ti regional e mo famina na ye papa Kwesi Indum ye say ye be ya e mo ye krafra manone e be reduce no. Uba ye say nyuma ni nyina egu. Na wo mo frɛ that omu frɛ Otebri omu di tu n'anim sɛ masa Capital Bank ye ba be guru but ni dia ye woma ni bua ye woma so ka ye hunti ene ye frɛ wa ka kyerɛ when that news was broken to Dr. Mesa Otebri, according to them ni demeanor a change here and that has reflected on him to today. Say he's not participating and neglecting them. Aden say nipa ultimate tenase e plani boni. Omu ba yon person omu fire go there wo Ghana he nyina enti Agyapade o ka ye Agyapa say royalties are yenya wo mayimu nyina no 50 years 20 years to come no e ma ye sembium omu create company na company so omu create omu create no Ghana how na Ghana for wada kabra bibi kakra wo nsemu ubetimi akoto shares wom se bibi kakra wo nsem ubetimi ato shares wom ye create no Ghana ha na ke Ghana for dia omu ko create no wo amanone tax haven bebia uye juma wo ho a obi timi be bisa wo se eto se na wo se utua ana se eto se na wetua eno omu ko create company no enye mu media foi civil society groups any minority a ye twi omu se be ade na guro omu tru abededi ena omu jaye me no kasa sesi a se anglo gold to gold a Ghana ye chefa ye benya no e be ba ban ho direct media ye mputu okay so omu ba ye sa adwini boni nti get fun a ebua me ye increase school adan a ye si omu di $1.5 billion and omuko GE this get fund sika ye nyako si awowa sesi amene wo ka sei nana dodan kwenti min si 6 room classroom block man school for wo mayi omo gisika no e de ahye busiafo afunu mu e na omo ehome so Adakabre. In some of the dozen, who can telecom space? No one person or mu take telecom space. They know the minu say they have succeeded through Kani GVD. Minu Ukasa says Yano. They are controlling the Nanado family is controlling the telecom space in this country. Yes, the book stated it, and it has happened. Eti meka according to the book, onu Nanado say enyo onu the chro no. But the woman also know happen. They cannot deny it. Adakabre, who him say ye wo me yimu and Security and Exchange Commission. It's a very strategic company. A boa institutions are omu pese omu di omu companies ko amansen gaso eko piska ediba. It can be internal or external. Mini ukasa sisi ano. Omu adoso mu per the book no. Ema sisi ano. Security and Exchange Commission no. Abeye ebusian chenfa. Pierre Gabre, die ya wo mu pa ni positions a omu create wo book we mu. Ebusianfo na enkodi. Then they will control everything. Ghana no. Ni nyina ewa ha. Ejesi ya meni wuka sei. Uko na do dan kwa kufu ado ebusiamu a. Apart from Okyehene a only position bia no. All the family members. Gabi Okyehene akuni na ebusian ni maami ni papa. Bedi etuo ni maami ni papa ni nuano mo. Wo mu nyina. The fact of the matter is we cannot run away from this book. Any meaningful Ghanaian, we youth, na tiemia, be pachoko fa book we ne read. And we the direction of this country. The book is the direction. And we Bible. Nanado dankwe kufado di bebu omai. Enti so omu yadia with impunity kura. Etia Ghana fuo. Eti omai kanko. Eti omai sikasemu kura. Because of adododia. Ya set it up in the book for the family, you know. Nanado ntiminka ahoye. Enya book wemu. Who read the omukafa? His Excellency His Excellency the late Jerry John Lorenzo. Mi bacho wakanyo. Wamushi sha dia nu pe. Ekwaya Nanado will get closer to former president and make sure that he sway him to his side. Nijina wamu ye ya ekopi mse papeyi efa nyakopon frère no. A grand strategy to eliminate His Excellency former president so that they will have math because they know say internationally when Jerry speaks, it shakes the foundation of this country. So let us remove him. It's a strategy. It's in the book. Jerry Otiase. Nanado oni Jerry Anko Boom. Obi ano omunka. Ojunso kurapona Jerry Femu ya obewu. Now so last minute oni Jerry ko boom.
Enti oje Agyapade book no jide.
Who are unji sa book we indi no. Apart from say Gabi edidi atem no. Wa unji ndino na chese o mind we umpo mind ni.
Okay.
And that is the reason why I was say Ghana ni be ready. Now based on that book no, you vote massively against Dr. Bawumia because of your book no more. Almost stating it clearly that there is no way our Mubema obi our free Ashanti region. Eye Asantini ebeba bedi wo mo anim. Enti hwade omudi ye owura alanchremantin ye kukua se non akan meaning say bonia omudi omayi no wo mu po obi a obetimi abekata omu bone so enu no omudu ko fa Dr. Bawumia edibai etietia omu nyina fa ahode so wo mu kan ya kan Canada Japan ni suban ni kwan omu mfa so emma Canada Japan ben ahinie nanka oman we ye nim bibi kura mi ye ndisi ni na ka bibi asem de mfa no na ka uhwe the foundation mo build ya na ka lanchramati should be on their take it now na so adwene boni eni Nanado pese mi kumi nyanti no e wo se ye ma Bawumia amra na enyama ye wia sika ye wia Agyapade ya fa abanya sa ase ya to aban companies are intentionally ye guno aya dia ma kenoforiata se ne be ya o be build the financial empire no e be ko so nti o mo akwa owura spare driver baomia se ombran be di o man so otrofo like him Ghana ni bia pese obeti ni din no Nanado is good to go with baomia enti mesre Ghana fo se baby aye dru no ye ni abre so me yi da chi be ko so a ye nyim free baomia ni achimfo ni nsem se what you ase de bia omuka ka
achimfo a umi ni hefo
me chebifo na se ukọ achim le mu wo chichemu bebre wo mo busumifo ni ade wo mu ndi bio eye the achim family headed by Oforipenia Nanado bank ruler woman. They are ruling us now, and we must run away from them. Other than that, Adakabre, unana no boy no, uniche fa wo me yimu. Because omo yo mu se Kwame Nkrumah kredi wo mo abro. Who kind first page of the book wo mo adwiri mu no e wo so man we wo mo na edi so na nya Kwame Nkrumah ni Jerry no mo ni Kufuor no mo ni Mahama no mo ni Atamesu no mo anyame afro mo. They don't have any right to rule this country. Eti afa na abedi wo mo wode a ene mu me prepare generational book a ye behwe so e dia fa o man yi ekuta.
Okay, ma unia
very bad
bugiri of the new patriotic party
and to talk about
book no as to whether it transcends the tenure of Nanado, it remains to be seen. And for now,
we part 1, part 2, part 2 no more.
Maunia Sebek bugiri
Baomia babet waso the unfinished business no. E don person Baomia bet waso.
Maunia Sebek bugiri emremobi. Na honorable Yamao Atanase.
Yakroto.
I want to say,
Boko.
Yo.
Mini pay your friends, eh?
Where you Bismarck, Abobi, Ayite Abobi, where vice chairman of the NDC in the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency here in the Greater Accra region.
Nidino no.
Bismarck, chairman Abobi.
Nyagro. Mambisa na samba. I didn't tell the elder Tayene NDC for no see debater. It results in personal attack. I didn't.
What am I attacking?
Meba. So okase company MPP gu a ye dia ma Ken but company ni.
Say am no okase SIC. Esi hokwa edwumahu to e na esi ho ye de bibia ko
I don't see.
Eti na make a say COVID ba your insurance in
I don't see no.
Chairman.
Yes, I don't see na me
Chairman. Chairman, yeah, the topic the ama.
Be some sound na me.
Your comments on that.
Say before
Americans in the enterprise group na.
My the comments. The President of the Republic says Agyapade book is fake. As soon as PSA or in a fiction. Gabi says to believe it is to have your head examined. Now, what do you make of it, Honorable Bugiri?
You see, in literature or in education, we drew baby to say masters. Which read there, you have to show the source. Which read A, you have to show the source. And the year where the A and the D came from. Nipa miyansa na akasa. Nipa akukudam or MPP na akasa efa book no asem. And then adanse bensu na wombium. HSS adene. For all you know, Madam Fioti hey, any no more party no, na mo print sa bookie e diaba out. For all you know, just to give us a bad name. For all you know, no more share that printed book diaba just to give us a bad name because sabi empreduasa. Say ye no ye book and I ye krata ni atwa say Agyapade na ye kan. Young ma out emphasis can ko print and then we deny that it doesn't belong to us. What do you say? Because you are throwing your money away. What do you say? And to say President Akasa, Gabi Akasa, and also wants to be on Akasa. Very good. Nipa miyansa Akasa. Say book na ye kanu. If you believe in it, your head has to be examined. Really? And I make an yen say book no. It is a propaganda. Obi na said that ye book in the abase. Omonya na enkaye. What do you say? So that we'll get a bad name. So that you need to know ye be.
Now they are happy woman there. Coincident ana.
Bibia won't be any fake.
Bibia won't be was senate in a coincident ana.
Senate say they think they are losing money.
No, just the same. No, the rising of Kofi Busumpi, rising of Kofi Busumpi to take over Senate and capture Ecobank Transnational. No? It was stated in the book. It has happened.
When a castle until friends Ecobank Transnational, it has been captured. It has been captured.
Yes. How? Because the plan was that
where's the evidence?
Senate should take Busumpi as the Director General so that he will go to
where's the evidence?
It's in the book.
The evidence in the book that it is a planting by MPP so, that they should rise and say, "Yam push it, Busumpi."
Yes.
Not what capture friends.
Now we're taking charge of Ecobank Transnational.
See, no more debater. You should base it on issues.
No, Missy,
it should be based on issues. Mamika Semichero. Me Mamika Semichero. Hey, last me kasa semiwa. NDC kotamel ko katra o muse. And John Mahama Kwakwe Jiska World Bank. Yes, opposition then leader, which is the sitting president. One sign or so one sign. Side into World Bank Sikano, ya and farmer, what to be that? Yet people internally believed it. A bit no can. What's it say? NDC 4 Tamale South. I was there. Me, I'm one in Tamale. What I say? Into me person me catch out say. Me person me catch out. Then me person me catch out say. The Ghanaians you left in 2012 2016 election.
Yes.
It's not the Ghanaians you are seeing today. Mo propaganda no, it won't fly. It won't fly, my brother. It won't fly. Every day in day out, the Ghanaians becoming wiser. Yeah, and it ya bakroma. Until the people know. Me say by December no ebe muwa. By December this country ebe muwa. See the election they are moving winning. But me do her say by December no, you see what happens.
But what will happen
what
will happen in December that we will not win if we are winning today? What will happen in December that we are not winning?
The tide will have changed. The issues will have changed. And the dollar ever from unim sa
who told you say?
Me say the dollar is stabilizing and it's coming down.
Probably the one from your bed, under your bed, that is stabilizing.
You are not reading.
We are engaged.
You are not reading. What you say? Me say by December no, you'll be shocked. You will shock you because we'll beat you with a strategy you will understand. Me say by that time, all the fundamentals that you are seeing today, now you say winning
artificial, now say natural.
And yet, statistically,
there is nothing that will change unless you artificially manipulate the indicators.
Statistically, you will see that your friends, the indices all will change, and Ghanaians will believe us more than the propaganda you are doing. And to propaganda now, my dear, it won't fly. It won't fly. Ghanaians are getting wise a day in, day out. And to book one can me say, Obi Odi Betcha sin who? Obi Odi book Betcha who? And Nuna, President. Any Gabi, any year, paying for Kuku Damaka. Obi Abakanya sin who because it's a lie. It's a lie. There might be an idea like that, but we don't have a book in that case. Now, who other places? KKD, Kosije Dakwa, he had a similar book on joy. Kasa, DN.
KKD, Akasa Hopa.
Yes, Kasa.
What is that?
Me say, Sisiano is a lie.
It's not
at
a lie.
Least. But if you say, it is any idea, that is our idea. What you say? Yen so near say book na mudi chairman for krata mudi chairman for and you know
a secret document have told you. So you are running away from it, but the reality is that it's happening in your government. It's happening in your government. So what are you
saying? Me say propaganda now all the years that we have been using. It won't fly.
Real.
Edian say a Busumpi na call SIC and that it has been planned say waba no. The people in Senate, sorry, the people are Senate too. They are not a yikeko. They are professionals. They have integrity. They have a name to protect. What you say? And tell motive outside mo kasa keke.
If what you are saying is true.
Me say
those who were there
before. I don't know. Obi abeka say book na ba na je kan yana sinu who. It's not true. For all you know, and these and other people who want to see us out of government are those who have printed this book and have brought us sorry to give us a bad
so let me give you one example.
Don't give me any example.
True or not?
The
new Kasa says here all government cars are being insured by enterprise group. Is it right? In your wisdom, it's in the book. Is it right that should happen? Or is it a coincidence?
Where's the proof?
The proof is the book we are all.
Where is it? Where's the proof? Where's the evidence?
na book no. Papa we. Book ni nie.
Book we.
Enie.
Where's the chapter? Where's the line?
Okay, let me read it.
My bro, ja mo propaganda
let me read it for
you. What do you say? When mu na mo ahihye nia na mo dia ba nia print na mo dia ba.
No.
What do you say? But jamu be ye biara 7th December you'll be shocked. Ebem says ini.
Who
you watch it. Ebem says ini. And then mom dear move. But by December you see how things are going to change in our tide. And let me tell you something. It is just the economic situation na yedini. What do you say? It's the economic situation na yedini. It's just an aspect of the economy. Other areas no. And one who they see what Independence Square. One that alone is a game changer. My young teachers are F moving machines, only compactors, only sprinklers, no any
obi chopo, obi na akoto na mubenya muchopo. Fuel kura mudiwe power machines nukura. A better problem woman.
I say Ashanti Regional Tracking Poll in August. Say Info Analytics are telling us.
Musa Dankwa. They've run a poll in the Ashanti region, and Dr. Bawumia has moved downwards. Into the middle 60s. And then John Dramani is approaching middle 20s. Sanity.
And Alan Martin appears stable at 9.2. Cheddar has gone down. Let's find out. Methodology, where it's coming from, and what does
even
it tell
the sampling size yes also has an effect on the research.
And Napo appeared to be dragging Dr. Bawumia downwards.
Wow.
Musa Dankwa, Idi, Yamwaha.
Maybe also.
Now, what is saying?
Yaminadum or the chair.
Right. Ashanti Regional Opinion Poll updated August 2, 2024. Tell us, what is it about?
Yo, Medasi, Ubekaya, Omo nominated Napo early last month. No, yeah, the quick opinion poll about to gauge the sentiment of Ashanti voters with regard to enthusiasm and willingness to vote MPP because of that. In that poll, about 73% of them were going to vote for MPP, and then 50% were going to vote for NDC, 9% for Alan Martin, and 2% for Nana Pascal. So after 4 weeks of campaigning and all those issues, we've made our plans for go to Ashanti region every month that we're not doing national tracking poll, just to gauge the performance of FP in that region, because that performance is very crucial for what happens in December. And also, almost 85% is it achievable and just extremely generous. So that's the reason behind the work with the national region.
So every 4 weeks, more but sample and validity views our preferences, our Ashanti region.
Until October. October we'll be doing that anyway as part of a national tracking poll. So we won't go there in October. We'll go there in September.
And the update from July last year, na August 3 more update no incorporating Napo didn't buy as running mate to Dr. Bawumia. Tell us what has happened.
It's very interesting from the test I've seen. Osha Alan Martin is still on 9%, roughly 9.2%, barely 0.2% increase. But there has been a significant shift towards John Mahama. And Osha, he has moved from 15% to nearly 24%. And Bawumia has moved from 33% to around 65%. That's a huge drop in Bawumia's numbers. And also, Nana Kwambedia appears to have collapsed in the region. It's now below 1%. And the interesting thing is that Ocean, where the movement came from, across all age groups, Bawumia lost across all age groups, 18 to 25, 26, 35 at tops at various levels of loss of vote. But basically, I think the story lies, if you look at the story or the numbers from the lens of partisanship. MP before almost Baumia in between period has actually gone up. So let me just get those data.
Okay.
And we can see. The poll shows that MP before are almost attractive by 0.6% between the first poll and the second poll.
I just say MPP for here that you know come to my Mahama no between
Yes.
July poll and the August poll no almost actually by 0.2%.
0.6%.
0.6%, okay.
But within MPP, no, Baumia has actually gone up by plus 2.1%. So
There's a search in the Baumia, there's a search for Baumia within the core MPP grouping.
Absolutely. So I would attribute that probably Napo within the core of MPP and Ashanti. And then Alan lost 1% within MPP. And Nana Kwame lost 0.5%. So all those losses, therefore Alan and Maham went to Baumia among MPP voters. So you could argue that Napo has added 0.5% to MPP base in the country. But what has that done to, let's say, floating voters? Simultaneously, we have seen that Mahama has shot up by 5.5% among floating voters in the country. And Alan has shot up 13.2% among floating in the country.
I just say Alan at 13%, John at 5% amongst floating voters. What does it tell us?
We have seen a dramatic drop in floating voters who support Baumia. They have lost 16.6% among floating voters of Ashanti region. And Beriako lost 2.9% in Ashanti region. So one can conclude that whereas the Napo may have been a positive for MPP based in Ashanti region, it's costing MPP among floating voters in Ashanti region, who are nearly 17% of the total voters.
And generally, MPP for say almost share not less than 80 percentage points in the Ashanti region, and that when they garner 80% or more, all results from other regions will come to naught. A win, a safe win, will be for the MPP. What are we seeing from these data compared to what MPP has been telling us?
You know, I believe that the elections in December will be around this week. That's one of my margin of error. It will not be around the figure that they are quoting. Why am I saying so? Because nearly 87% of the Ashanti voters, they have made up their mind.
Indeed, we are not likely to witness any dramatic change of preference.
No. This week, only 3.5% said they are likely to change their mind. 3.5%.
And just about me at middle 60% votes, more of crystal.
Plus or minus the margin of 2.5%. So his best performance from this poll will be in the region of 50%. This poll.
Yeah, now, besides visiting Asante every month, what happens to the swing regions of Greater Accra, Central, Western North? What happens to the Zongo areas? What happens to the Northern region proper? And what happens to the 5 Northern regions?
Greater Accra, we're not enough yet to know what is going to happen in Greater Accra. So we're not going to waste money again to go back to Greater Accra.
I didn't
We
try.
have done quite a lot of work in central region, and we know how central is going to find out. So you need to get me to go. Western region, we have a very good idea because of several programs there. Ashanti region, the reason why we're doing this Ashanti is because of a target of 85%. Nobody has set target for Greater Central and Western region. The target has been set for Ashanti region. And that's what we are monitoring.
So you are monitoring and working to validate it.
Yes.
Executive Director Musa Danko, I had to say any great data who thrown out. Na ye nyina no ye kwa kwasua statistics na ya babe. MC da be na MPP ni ba ko betu busa bibi. Honorable Bugri. Mr. Bugri na betu busa na bibi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Aboji yankai.
Lafiya law.
Munjima. Yo, yeah, me pesa me bisa sam kakra bi. Sampling size no. Ubetimi ama ya idea sampling size no.
Okay.
Oh, Debbie, it must be so.
Okay. I'm in Mukasta.
Okay, it is.
To determine the sample size for this phone, you use the whole voter population of Ashanti region as a parameter. Ashanti has nearly 3.3 million voters right now. So if you are doing food in Ashanti region, that would be one of the ingredients of determining the sample size. And also, what level of confidence we want to have with this poll. We have chosen 5% confidence. So with this and the margin of error we have chosen of say 2.5%, when you feed this variable into the simulator or what we call our software that calculates how many interviews you do, it gives you that 1,600.
It is yet a year. You randomly selected 14 constituencies from the Ashanti region and then pulled them, getting a sample size of 1392, and then with a confidence level of 95% and a marginal error of 2.57%. Is that right?
Precisely.
Bugri, does it tell you any story?
I wanted, let me pass or educate me. What you ask here? Let me who I have an idea of almost sampling size, and how it fed into the conclusion and the findings and the friends saying discussions now. Now,
what we are saying is that if you pick randomly constantly in a country region and you deploy the same sample size we deployed this time around back in those randomly selected, not carefully selected, randomly selected, the results you will get in your survey will be within what we have gotten, plus or minus marks of error that we have put out there.
The last question. A friend say, "Mo sampling area no areas in Ashanti region. Where do you always pick your samples from?"
We don't always. We say we randomly. We have a computer that picks the number. So if we want to go to 14 areas, we don't choose it ourselves. The computer will run through the 47 areas in Ashanti region and pick 14 for us.
Okay.
And once 14 is picked, we deploy them top 3 electoral areas of the coast. So if you are in Bantam, which electoral areas contribute the most of votes in Bantama? Those are the areas which can put to an interview randomly.
Okay. Yadwasi Edie.
Thank
you, my brother.
Right. And Musa Danko of the Global Info Analytics and I yet in right. As a Napo marginal rights in support for Dr. Muhammad Bawumia in the Ashanti region, but a colossal loss in the arena of floating voters in the Ashanti region. Dear now,
the Dikai Maminda, a friend say Global Info Analytics. As for this well-informed research, I have been following it. Musa Dankwa de minim pa antino. I have been following it. What you here, and I believe they are or more resource. No, I believe it. But the person can say, is it not too early to come to a conclusion? Say, napo ye no the losses as against his gains is becoming significant. Is it not too early? I think it was just, is it 3 weeks ago and I say a month? It's about a month, me boy. In a friend say running mate, me boy. On share dan Juma Bia say, in fact, as we speak, let me say last week no war Eastern region. Ashanti region as we me, I'm not minyanya information to the effect say campaign na nkasa ono napo a start ewo Ashanti region. I am fan say from electoral area to electoral area was started say the was a year starting to the extent say you can come to a conclusion say oh since buy one share that Emma numbers no can as against the obeto na fan say e be so. I think that is too early to come to that conclusion. What you say? And na me catch madam for say by December no ebe to say sini. And Musa will come out to tell you, Musa Dankwa of Global Info, he will tell you that our numbers are appreciated. It's a matter of time. The next one they will do, each day, Ghanaians are getting to believe us more than the NDC because the NDC is not an alternative.
So your numbers are climbing.
If the MPP is bad, the NDC is not an alternative under the leadership of His Excellency the former President John Mahama. It's not an alternative at all. It will be worse. What you say? Yeah, say no. Mijitum say economically, the bread and butter issue, times are very tough, and it's global. It's global. Just probably Ghanaians they no as a more a chain other countries or something. What you say? But that notwithstanding, Mr. Nkrofo, by December they will see the magic. We will beat you hands down and you to shock you.
You are not beating Ghanaians.
No.
Election no. And between NDC and MPP.
Is it between what? Utianya okasenya MPP asem na oka. Utianya na MPP asem na oka. Nanya Ghanaians asem na oka.
Between MPP and Ghanaians. Because Agyapade3 here about all. It's not against NDC. It's against Ghanaians. The well-being.
Including MPP for now.
Very good.
Let's have see Ghanaians. So my body.
My brother.
Yes, you are growing so. Every
ano patambe.
Enya najo. Ana obeso kania ko agro na se. The AC Ashanti region. Yen NDC for we are comfortable. Say this time no. The people of Ashanti who say almost once you ask once. Na ko omu de na ko omu ti say omu fi say omu die mu. Eni na na do danko Akufo-Addo MPP aban. Now so aban yi ba ye impuntuo abowo mo ti se Akukọ Johnson
Ashanti region okay
enu ti na te maame nu fa ni kenten no ko dru KJT market a ohwe no wa ba na num se ade fefe be ni John Dramani Mahama
the market na
market na sam na make no market no attract businesses and na maame nu so nim se ye badwedi a Mahama wo emma ho do onim se emma wo mu na omo bua memma ye kan konti enyama ebe ma puntu akoso no e na oye ebi ni market when si wa Ashanti region kwa uko kotokra ba we sibi
or say or the women's bank member
yes
as opposed to Chamatin or the traders bank member
bi nyina no e bank but onu neni so ade hunu a Professor Nana Jeno Opoku Ajiman obey the first female vice president neni so ade hunu ora John Dramani Mahama ajia to me say be boa e ma ni say yemfa bank imra ebe take care of a man kwa sika no ye di mfaso no be chew ye adwuma na keep mfaso no fa expand your business ni amount 5,000 betua 5,000 enye sa busia owo na ye mamu ko gia na ense ho obetua wieru na say what you scan mo ho enti ye ba Ashanti region hwe KJT market
aiden
na hwe KJT station
aiden
na hwe Kumasi airport when nyina ye nyama owura John Dramani Mahama eda so hu daye amini wu ka sei emre bi atwam Asante hini ntimi ntu firi Kumasi hwi embassy nkwa amanoni but John Dramani Mahama started port improvement or the lighting system aeronautical light ba ye otufuo timifa private jet nana etu free Kumasi fa eko South Africa dem bi o fe bia no otimi ba Kumasi eba di krom ba emre bi etwam no di a plane eko Kumasi a ye beka just say boss 6 o'clock out me land and 2 years later you be cancel flight. These are the things we are talking about. Kumasi in Puntuo enu secondary schools are huduo
market ya mudia kasa mitie
say back Kumasi in Puntuo
kasa mitie
enu ti na nana otufuo otu yenua napo eni ba omiafo
said dey
munko kanu kure enchire Ghana fo
sa no kan
yes
o kan we he
na ka so munko twantro muntro na mu na no to
me say
wanti enti mami nka masem
o kan we he
o ka kire na yi napo ni ba omia
we he
munko ka nukure enchire Ghana fo na Ghana fo nyira nukure entu aba no
adakabra mensere
na say ya otufo omuko pie otufo efutu odi tu wo mu no
otufo ba wan kase mo munko twantro
oh debi man ka so munko twantro mi si na say munko ka nukure enchire Ghana fo sa nukure no na ye be gira so to aba nukure no na santiman e be traso e be gira so to aba
ba na yo
ba na Ghana fo bo say oba Ghana ha say your be president
enu na otumfo kan ya
Ghana bia benya bank account
enu na otumfo kan ya
na yadro otumfo timi hwe ni mu ka say vice we twantro ba o ka je say this time amuko no munko kanu kura nchire Ghana fo mu ka chire Ghana fo so ba concrete asphalt eni ebe ye wo ba yi mu ye hu ba akokura mu ka chire Ghana fo say wo ba bank ni bia bank account Ghana ni bia ya wo no we di 18 years obenya bank account bisa uba anasa ye mami omo odwom se omanya bank account ana ba omia ni nanado ewie Ghana fo anim e ka kire yen se so omo ba na nyame ya adom na ye de akonwa we ma omo a Ghana ni bia ni ho a sabi toilet be hia no woni fie Ghana ni bia ni ho a insuo be hia no woni fie ni bisa se insuo no ewe ya
na ka se Ghana ni bia
yes
stop adding lies to it.
No.
I don't see no.
President can you go and say or this your breche before nkwa without generalizing it. He's a president for all.
I don't see no.
Can say obema toilet here obia.
I don't see no one.
Ba obia enu mo ase.
E wo hen kire.
Hia nanado e ka kire ye say oba Peace FM ha. E sorry ye say ye tisika so e komodi ye. Amamuo boni nti Emma Ghana for the Yebedi Kura and Sanka. Ye bisana nado say si atamwa o frisono. Na tuber of yam na say. Na gallon of fuel, gallon petrol, gallon 4.5 liters no. Na 14 cedis. Say si amini uka say a liter of fuel. Diesel ni petrol. And running into 15 cedis. 20 petrol. What are we talking about? We are going to the election with the pain of Ghanaians. Okay, we are voting based on our pains. Okay, not about what we are going to talk about. That is not true.
Kajani say. Say ha ni abri enye ntokwa. Where debate? What you say? The one odi atudwa. Mama bi say na asem. Hwe, won sa market here omudi I mean, it's overhyped. It's overhyped.
Second phase, no. Second phase, no. No,
Chairman, stop that.
After October,
you don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. My honest opportunity no so nkasa. Bugiri mi entie.
Chama, ma minka se menchiro. Won interchange na ye no okwa. Jamem so kokuma se ache pa.
Mi entie, wo ya men kwa kanasem.
Interchange se ntro na wo twa no. Ese Yes,
tie wo dia.
Enye so wonim de ekoso
adie na ekoso say Ashanti region development
me from a friend say buohu you know this I don't
that's what I'm running about macro
exactly It's progressing. In fact, 3 days ago, say Bomia ko Bolga. Only say me Fitongo. I went there. Me pan your faho. Kumasi ko here. Before the end of this year, interchange, it will overshadow market. No fiana o mayen o wa. O mukase o moye BNC da. Market no eye modern. But enya good you say but so in a huge agenda 111 bar it will cancel all that. Agenda 119 we are finishing the hospital throughout the country. 111 hospitals, new hospitals.
Come on, Parliament, I need that.
Is it
not ongoing?
Is
it not ongoing?
Can you commission one before you leave?
Yeah, team commission one.
Can you?
I didn't see any commission. Roads. Ashanti region kanu. Senye even Ashanti town. A friend say metropolis okra. Many of the districts are getting roads. Many of them are getting roads. In fact, some of them are forgotten. But recently, many of the roads are coming. Many of the roads. And what social media? I just forgot somehow. Some of these things come to new roads. That's what we say. What do you say? School blocks. System bebre in Ashanti region. What do you say? Airport here okay. Jejoma majano hono. Na enya possible say otumfo betime free Kumasi akwamanoni.
Before they know to vote.
It's not possible. Before
Chairman Pacho, you didn't. Can you also come here? Come be a meeting.
I don't know be about
me. Shh. And can be me pay.
Why they go?
But Chairman,
why they go?
We are methodical person. You
Bible now be no better.
Oh please.
Me.
Also see an apple once.
Oh there be na say
this all disrupt too. Me catch and say count the no can
me be go to Bible.
Enya drew so a na wo ko to Bible na ono.
Me time no so na ka so onka no me time no so me say me catch us say.
So man address the listener.
Me say come say airport now omoka no. Even the corruption involved in the lies, the amount of money that was they claimed they spent in the lies, and then the quality of lies on that alone was suspect. In fact, MPP, I blame our party for some of the things because there were so many things these people should have taken them and get them jailed. But some of them will have just because the wheel of justice is slow. What do you say?
So
a board chairman.
So what is the level of
a board chairman and his company is.
Chairman, what's the level of development? Mode ama Asante for no.
Road here, a friend say interchange me say. It's just unfortunate I don't have most of the things here. Roads in Ashanti region. Bebre, yeah, Muslim put them make try. Nanza Moses had the about say anytime a baba biano and I'm in advance no roads. Schools, secondary schools blocks, secondary school beer in Ghana. Many secondary school and new blocks. Okay, say near what a friend say green track, red track, new white. Who say Sisia and Wabrasi? Do you know that now just a few of the secondary schools are those that do a friend say the green and the red track? Because during the COVID time, many of the secondary schools in and new blocks. STEM schools are bebre. STEM schools. Even in Ashanti, Greater Accra, my friends say metropolitans. Kumasi metropolitans.
Okay, my name.
What do you say? So,
the level of development.
Your friends say, marketing on Kwana, Jebia, Musoda, market, as a marketing. It's only modern. And so, and yeah,
Chairman, and I will view no. Level of development, Ufrisa NDC tenor. What the mass and let me put the question. Level of development, NDC tenor, what the mass and yeah, and ne, we be sure sword in the Russian mono. I mean,
yo, Asante for Medamase, Adakabre, Sumidawase, Adakabre, Kumasi KJT market. Yeah. Tafo market, yeah. Asawase market, yeah. Atosu market, yeah. Sewa hospital, yeah. Aferi military hospital, Formana hospital, Bekwaye hospital, Asawasi Rose, yeah. Swami Rose, yeah. Chemensa Bosu constituency, yeah. Uko Tafo Rosa, Dr. Akoto Osei constituency, yeah. Kenyasi Rose, yeah. High school. Jinasi Road, Bonsu High School, yeah. Road, Bonsu High School Road, yeah. Uko, baby, to say, Apramasi, Juso, yeah, Jumadie, Uko Bekwaye Township to Esiwa Road, yeah. Near Dubiase Township Road, yeah. Bekwaye Township Road, yeah. Banka Community Day School, yeah. Me bacha utie me. Dujaman Community Day School, yeah. Drobonso Community Day School, yeah. Bosomtwi Oyoko Community Day School, yeah. Ukwa Adanse Fumso Community Day School, yeah. Sa school no adakabre mi nu kasa sisi ya yesie wie a omo ba ye wo mo antoa so Adanse Fumso Katie Hammond ni constituency, yeah. Adanse Apeja Community Day School, yeah. Tepa.
One constituency.
Katie Hammond constituency.
Fumso Adanse so kwa na se wadu biase.
Between no, Adakabre unim constituency.
Don't shout.
So, please, don't come in.
I only ask you, say, Fumso, Edubiasi and I.
No, and can't Dubiasi, Asokwa constituency mu.
And I'm a busa question.
Yes. Say, Asokwa, and I said, yeah, me cantro. Uko Tepa, Manfu Community Day School, yeah. Ejura Community Day School, yeah. Kumewu Hospital, yeah. Tepa Hospital, yeah. Konongo Hospital, yeah. Kumewu Water Supply, yeah.
Just last month, President of the Republic, Oko Eye Kumewu. Edia no Koko Ye Kumewu.
Se Oko Bibediani and John Dramani Mahama, Kumewu Eye Hospital, no. Se Wako Bia no dia, yeah.
Okay.
Wako Bia ba Eye John Dramani Mahama.
Nah, just 6 months ago, Oko, a friend is saying, Kono as Asante Achim Central, a Shiaim, it could be a hospital, and also so where
Asante,
as a Konongo and Udumase in between, one hospital, and so could be an air wire. And so you've been done.
Maybe Diana me count, the okay meaning. Right, Makabi Bisa, Kumewu Water Supply. Edisio Papa Ebe Kumewu for John Dramani Mama. I can mention and mention. Anything that we have
water supply and yet John Mahama.
One a year.
I've been a Busame.
No, Bibisa. You are educating public.
So wouldn't be I mentioned.
No, Adakabre. John Dramani Mahama.
Oh, Mo water supply. You bet the 3 case. The 3 case, you know, a call rich. And na Konongo, and a Kumawu. Dr. Dofo, the whole NDC. Ukubusa Dr. Dofo, 3 cases. Which of the NDC leaders and the chances were the 3 cases? Now, if you want back,
now, Obi starting here. And Obi baby, John Dramani Mama, that John Dramani Mama has anything to do with the Kumewu water supply. So, being a starting here now, Abano Abeya, Missy Wire, just your own cousin and another commission is Yobi. Hospital be you are trying to give credit. No. Ukru
Chairman. Say yeah, na ma yem pedal unsubstantiated. I may say, say
falsehood.
Menka falsehood statements. I was say. Me mama clue. Bezi Koko Busa Dr. Kwabanado for about the 3 case all rage on Kumewu water supply system. Now Koko pe Alaji Collins Dawuda. Why?
Who should we give the credit? Who should we give the credit? They are NDC project.
Honorable Bugri, final comment.
Said yes, yeah, what ye the phone now. Well, list a number of projects.
Also list.
How to list? Meba. To was in debate. if your opponent is not really giving facts, you need to disprove them. What do you say? In 2012 election. Oh, omo yade pa. Niema wabubo so nyina omo yade. Adenti na vote omo out. Samwatime ye we nyina you lost massively. Ebinsi wa Ghana hada.
Because numbers almost sorry
Ebinsi wa Ghana hada. Over 1 million votes. You lost to Ghanaians. That alone is a disgrace to your leader.
It's not a disgrace.
It's a disgrace. Ebinsi wa Ghana hada. Why you
the voice of the people.
Why you yes, the voice of people say you with all the Nyama Usimwayan. It is disapproval of what you claim you have done and which art is here Udi who say moi yes say you lost over one comment. That's a moment I'm saying say me say
unya final comments.
Me what you say na moi ya dem point na dem person mun catch and say and na make Ghanaians omaniate which each person they be no Ghanaians are becoming wiser. They are able to evaluate what you say omutimi asusu ensuo ene ensa. They are able to evaluate the two and are able to come to a conclusion. Say this particular party, maybe things will be difficult for them for now. Now, udi amamoni show munza. Baumia onyanye bida o, onyanye bida. Yesi nanadu abai yankase baumia abai. Baumia is a running mate. This government is Nanado's government.
Okay,
it's not Baumia's government.
All right.
John Mahama had an opportunity. He has been there for 8 years. He was in charge.